Robert Zemeckis directs Steve Carrell in a new movie based on a true story, so let's talk about it. Welcome to Marwen tells the true story of Mark Hogenkamp, who suffered a brutal attack outside a bar. He finds a therapeutical outlet where he creates dolls and takes pictures of them to tell stories of his life. Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I love to watch movies, and if you guys do too, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification so you guys don't miss any of my up and coming ranking videos and movie reviews. As well as comment down below with your thoughts on this new film, Welcome to Marwen. I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and at the end I'm going to give you the score for this film. I was really looking forward to Welcome to Marwen. I thought the trailers were beautiful and the music that went along with it paired nicely to make it a really touching trailer. So I was excited to see this movie, and Welcome to Marwen is a very emotional movie. It's a sad true story of a man who was beaten outside of the bar for his decisions in life, and he doesn't have his memory, he can't draw or paint, so he takes pictures of dolls, and the dolls represent things in his life. And as the movie progressed, I understood these dolls and what they represented throughout the movie. Very early on, we're just thrown into the story with these dolls. They kind of have this story that's going on during World War II, and we have Hoagie, who represents Mark Hogenkamp, played by Steve Carrell. And then you have all these different women who represent women that he's met throughout his life. And then there's Nazis, who represent the bad people that beat him up. So there's a lot of metaphors in this movie. There is so many metaphors, so many things that you can analyze and think about. And as I was watching this movie, I couldn't help but analyze the dolls and what they represented, what this witch doll represented, or what the girl across the street, Nicole, that just moved in, played by Leslie Mann, what she represented for Mark's life. So I spent a lot of time analyzing and thinking of these metaphors, and I had a lot of fun doing that. I thought, you know, this doll represents this in his life. Well, this doll represents this thing in his life. And I thought that was really cool because I got to feel connected to these dolls and Mark and figure out why they are made for him. The movie does progress very nicely. I do think you are allowed to understand the dolls and understand Mark's situation, feel sympathy for the character, understand where the character is coming from in regards to building this doll and building dolls and building this huge town for them, and why he takes the pictures and why it tells the story for his life. So as the movie grows and grows, I understood it more and more, and I loved it more and more. And at the end, it's a very emotional, sad film that left me happy for the character and happy for what he's doing with his life. I also think that the CGI for these characters are really cool. They have a lot of different dolls, Nazis, and people in the army, and these women from Marwen. They're really cool and really well thought out, and they really look like their characters, which I was really impressive. But it's also fun to see that story of these dolls play out. There's a World War II story, and he's falling in love with this girl named Nicole in the doll world and Marwen world. And so I liked also watching the story of the dolls and how it matched up with Mark's life. Steve Carell gives a really good performance in here. It's always hard to watch Steve Carell go from The Office to a dramatic role, and I know he can do it. He's shown it before, like Foxcatcher, but I've binged The Office series twice back to back. So I watched a lot of him in The Office, and now in Welcome to Marwen, it's kind of jarring to see that transition, but he does a great job in this role. Very emotional. He's in his own thoughts. You can see why he wants to create these worlds. It's a very sweet performance. Now, Welcome to Marwen does start off very rough for me. They jump you into this World War II story with these dolls, and I can't help but thinking during the first 20 minutes of this movie, what are the stories of the doll? What do they represent? Why are they here? Why did he create these? And I just couldn't get involved with the story of the dolls. I thought it was a little corny at times, and then I just couldn't help but overthink, I guess, the story. And then once we got Mark's introduction and we started to understand the dolls, I loved watching that story of the characters and Mark, and it progressed to something where I truly did love this movie. It did start off a little rough for me, but it did progress to something that I thought was a really great film. Also, some of the women from Marwen, they represent people in his life. Either we don't meet them or the performance is very brief, and so we really don't feel connected to these dolls. They do help out Hoagie and Marwen, they do protect him, but I really wish I would have seen them more in real life. I would have felt that impact from the dolls. So before I give you my final score on Welcome to Marwen, make sure to check out my other 2018 movie reviews I've done. We talked about some good movies, we talked about some bad movies, and we just talked about some okay movies. That seems to be the year. But I do think that Welcome to Marwen is a very touching, emotional film with some good visuals, a great performance, and an intriguing story to tell. I'm going to go ahead and give Welcome to Marwen an A-. So thank you for checking out my review for Welcome to Marwen. Check out my review right over here for The Favorite and Roma, both Oscar buzz movies. So check out my review right here. And then down below, yep, my face right there, hit that subscribe button. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.